Hello, my name is Paul Spurlin. Welcome to the Paul Spurlin Show, Beyond the Mic. This is a podcast all about, just about anything and everything in ministry. All kinds of ministry, from church to family, marriage, raising kids, walking the walk, and much, much more. We will share the latest news, sports, current events, and what's trending and what's not. This is a show to share what all's going on in the Brotherhood, from lectureships, camps, conferences, and all other events. We're all about the search for life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. We seek to find truth, justice, and the way to Him. To keep up with what's going on with the Paul Spurlin Show, please follow us on social media, all platforms, at The Paul Spurlin, and on the website, thepaulspurlin.com. Send us an email at thepaulspurlin@gmail.com. We hope you enjoy this episode, and now, let's start the show. Good morning and welcome to the Paul Spurlin Show. Thank you for being with us this morning. This is Monday morning. We try to lift off right around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And that's the goal, or get there somewhere thereabouts each and every Monday morning that we are in town, which is most of the time. So keep that in mind. I will go ahead and tell you that will not be the case this next week, because we got a lot of things going on this weekend and next week in other locations around the Brotherhood that I'll luckily be able to be a part of. I'll be away from home for a little bit from Piedmont Road, but look forward to coming back to these good folks here. So that's it. Today is Monday. Today is probably the Mondayest Monday ever. Just because it's raining. It's kind of dreary outside, and it's not like storming or anything, but we do get a little rain here in the big ATL today. So that is going on, and so I hope that where you are, that you're safe, that you're in front of your computer, you're on YouTube channel, Facebook for Ministry League, or my personal page. If not, you'll watch this later or listen to it through Spotify. So do that. So we have some sponsors. Want to make sure and thank and talk about and share. Starting out with Piedmont Road Church of Christ, our home base right here, our family, our church family here in Marietta, Georgia. Really appreciate the good folks here. Love the elders. Love the ministers. I love all the ministers and all the members, the family here at Piedmont Road. So really love those good folks. Had a great day yesterday. If you'd like, go to our website at lifeinchrist.com, where you can go and find all kinds of resources to help you with, whether it be for Bible study, so for some class material. Follow our education plan as well. Also, you can go to Ministry League. Go to the website, ministryleague.com. More information on that website about the Ministry League experience. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But go there. Everything on social media is at Ministry League. If you have the iOS Apple app, you can find all of the podcasts right there. We're hitting close to 65 podcasts there. Something for everyone. So we appreciate you for listening and for following and our podcast network and using our songs off that app. Android, we get this question quite a bit. Android, if you have an Android phone and you use the other phone, Android phone, Samsung or whatever, you need to go to the Amazon App Store. Okay, you have to download the Amazon App Store, and there you will find the Android side of the Ministry League app, and there you'll also find all the podcasts. So there's that. So thanks to them. Thanks to Faulkner University, especially the master's program stuff going on there at Faulkner. Appreciate them. New things coming on the website for that. Appreciate them and them being a sponsor of this show, and also Heritage Christian and Freed Hardeman University. So we got them all over the place, and we're excited about it. And we're going to see a lot of those folks this week. Over the next few days, and so we're excited about that as well. So I hope that yesterday was good for you. Hope you had a good Sunday. It's always a beautiful day, regardless of the weather. It's a great day because it's a day that God has made. You're with your church folks, your church family. You're able to sing. You're able to praise. You're able to share. You're able to give, and study God's word. And so it's always a great day. We had a great day. Had some great things happen on Sunday morning at Piedmont Road. Sunday night, of course, we got together for our navigation nights. It's our 5 o'clock service. It's interesting how it works out. Appreciate our elders for their passion and their vision and how we do what we do here. So 3 months out of the year, we're in the auditorium for worship. And then the next 3 months, we're in the fellowship hall, which can also be worship, but it's also opportunities to have a more intimate thing. Fellowship. We do that every month. Okay? We call that navigation nights. We're navigating our life. We talk to each other. We discuss. It's a class. Basically, it's a devotional and a class time. And we're in the middle of that right now. We just started it. We're singing new songs and looking at the theological aspect of those songs. We don't sing songs that don't 100% directly come from or all about Jesus Christ, the Bible, God, and that its message is theologically sound. So we do that. We learn new songs, and then we have devotionals and Bible studies and discussions about the meanings of those songs. So we'll do a new song the first 2 weeks of the month, and then we'll do one we know out of the songbook on the third week. Same deal. And then, of course, we have connection meetings on the fourth week and then singing on the fifth, if that happens, which it will this month. This is March. So we'll have 5 weeks this month. So there's that. So last night we had Brother Steve over from Decatur, Alabama. He works for World Bible School and was sharing the passion behind that and all the things going on with that good work. And so he shared that last night. So had classes for our kindergarten through fifth grade, and then 1s through 4s. And so that's what we do on Sunday night during all that time. So we're all together for a devotional together, and then we split apart as far as our teens and adults stay in the first hall, and then kindergarten to fifth grade goes down to the teen room for Bible study, and then 1s through 4s have their class as well. And I'm with the K-5, and we've been doing something that few of you will know. When I say the name of it, you'll know what it is, but most everybody will understand and appreciate what it is. So I'm going to say back in the day, when my dad preached, he invited a gentleman to come in and share what was called the Family Bible Hour. The Family Bible Hour was an opportunity for the whole church to get together to do repetitive things. We would say the books of the Bible. We would say the 15 judges. You have the apostles. We go over these as a church. We'd say them all together. And we would do the chronology, which is the timeline of the Bible. And then we would learn, patriarchal, Mosaic, Christian, and we would figure out. We'd say a Bible. We would say, let's locate a person and find a person. And so we did that. And so that's sort of what we're doing with our K-5. We're creating a foundation for our kids and giving them all that information and the recall on it, knowing how to find a person in the Bible, where they lived, when they lived, and all the things and aspects that helped them and was a part of their lives. So you have, for example, the chronology starts with letter A, then letter S. Letter A, obviously the beginning, that represents Adam. S is Seth. So basically you have 4 people that we know of that fall under the first category of Adam. Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. And then a few more years down the road, son number 3 comes along, Seth, and so on. It goes to the flood, it goes to Abraham, it goes to John the Baptist, Jesus, it goes to the apostles, all the way through the chronology. And so we learn that down there with that. That's a long description of something that we do, which we're passionate about teaching our young people, giving them a foundation of information to help them in life and understanding biblical things. So that's what we do for that. So that being said, I do want to share something with you. Of course, I'm drinking my coffee. I usually try to drink a coffee when I do a podcast. It helps me, gets me going a little bit. This is cheap. I know I didn't make it myself. I bought it. The caramel goes on with caramel, and it's sitting on my coaster. And that's the story here. You ready for the story? This is my coaster. Yay! It's a coaster. Really, it's this was supposed to be a foot of a table, and I decided to go thicker in building a table, and I'll talk about that a little bit if you want me to. And so we're building a table. It's a farmhouse table. Having fun with it. It's completed, and now I think this evening we're doing some staining on this good stain on this table. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But anyway, I have some scraps, and I have a blanket size sticker, and so I put it on this piece of wood. I got 4 of them because all coasters come in 4s. It's important to know that. And so here we go. There it is. And then so I literally put my coffee there, and it doesn't sweat on it or anything. It's great. It's wonderful. And so there it is. A good use for your Paul Spurlin sticker that is a mile wide and long. So in depth and such. So pretty cool. So there's that. Got to put the coffee back on there. There we go. Yes, it's cold. It's what it is. I like it. And so that's that. So we usually drink coffee when we do shows, which allows me to share with you something I haven't talked about yet. And so I'm excited about sharing this with you real quick. A lot of things to go through today. We have a lot of things to talk about today. So bear with me. And we don't have a whole lot of time left, but let's bear with me as we go through this. So I'm a part of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 podcasts in Ministry. Okay. They're not all happening right now, but let me explain to you. Number one of my favorite things that we do in podcasting is the Les and Paul show. I've got stickers. Where's my stickers? They're close by. They're somewhere. It's got to be. I should be able to reach one somewhere, or a cup or something. Oh, here he is. So here we go. Coffee Conversations. That's what it says. Coffee Conversations with Les and Paul. 30 minutes for God. Everybody should spend every day at least 30 minutes in your Bible, reading, studying, dissecting, figuring it out, researching, following up, and figuring out passages in the Bible. Spend 30 minutes a day. I think we can do that. And so, got a coffee mug. If you want one, come by and see me, and I'll give you a coffee mug if you ask for it. You saw this show. I saw the show. It said you give me a coffee mug. I tell you what, I got 3 I can give away. So the first 3 people get a coffee mug. Pretty cool. Love it. So 30 minutes for God, Les and Paul. We just finished our 50th episode. Yes, 50th episode, the longest season ever. Usually a season goes about 25 episodes and you move on to something else. We started with the dreams of Jesus. We talked about all the way from back in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2, all nations flow to it. And then it takes us to Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. Upon this rock, the Lord will build his church. It's his, number one, singular. And so we did all that. So the dreams of Jesus, we talked about the fragrance of Jesus, the knowledge of him in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, and that passage area through there, in talking about the fragrance of Jesus, spreading the aroma of knowledge of him. And so that was kind of cool. So we did that for 50 different episodes. We ended it talking about the scope of ministry, and you just got to go listen to it. They're 30-minute shows. There's 50 of them. It's an easy way to listen to something on your way to work. It's on Spotify and Ministry. So there's that. Actually, you can also go to lifeinchrist.com, Piedmont Road Church of Christ, and go look at our podcast there. So there you have Coffee Conversations, Les and Paul, 30 minutes for God. I have Revelation Edition, which is a 30-episode season where Les and I break down the book of Revelation. Phenomenal. I mean, I love it. I don't usually brag on our stuff, but I kind of do. But it is good. It is a good opportunity to really understand the book of Revelation in a really great way. And so that being said, 30 Paul 20 chapter. No, we broke down each church. There's 7 churches, and we had a wrap up. So that brings us pretty close to 30. So enjoy that. There won't be more on that because 30 episodes all you can do on that. And so enjoy that. It is also on Ministry League and everything. You'd also find that on lifeinchrist.com, on our podcast page at the Piedmont Road website at lifeinchrist.com. Also, we have the Edify podcast that Jake Sutton, our preacher here, does. It's really good for preachers, elders, deacons, leadership, good stuff. A lot of good things there. The link is also there. It takes you to the Facebook page and some stuff you can find for Edify. So, yes, I'm talking fast because I've got a lot to cover. What else we got? There's also a show that we used to do. Actually, we haven't done this show in a long time. It is called The John and Paul Show. John Podine and I used to do a show back in the day. He's finishing up a doctorate. Pretty excited, pretty proud of him. He's almost done. He graduates first weekend of May, so congrats to him and to everyone who's about to graduate. The season of graduations in May, and so or April and May as you get down to the end of all things school for the year. And so congratulations to all those folks. After that's done, then he and I will get back to it. So we're looking forward to that, sharing some ministry stuff there. So that's that. Let's see, Minister League, yes, and so I guess that's about it. That's our small talk for today. We should have like a big thing that says small talk with Paul, and so that's where we are on that. So let's see, what do we want to do now? Let's do this. Let's talk about some news. It is free agency time in the NFL, and they are looking for the next fill-ins. I know that the Atlanta Falcons actually have 25 free agents heading out or staying home. So good luck to them in doing that. They're really close to the cap, so they have to be careful on how they spend. Some teams, like the New Orleans Saints, are like $14 million over, so they got work to do. And there's a lot of teams that are still working on that, so that's where we are. Also, it's March, so that means you always think you're waiting. Oh, is another little thing going to pop up on the screen that says this? It doesn't, but I should. March Madness is happening. So they're picking the seeds, they're picking the teams, and figuring it out, and everybody's getting their final. You're in if you win kind of thing, and tournaments are happening this week. So good luck to all your teams for that. I did enjoy a basketball game on Saturday afternoon when the University of Alabama went into Auburn, Alabama, and defeated the number 1 ranked Auburn Tigers. Interesting. Auburn beat Alabama at home. Alabama beat Auburn at home. It just depends on what day it is. I'm just telling you, these are two good teams. As much as it pains me to say it, Auburn has a really good team this year. They really do. And Alabama's not too far behind. But they did pretty well the other day. And so they did beat them in overtime. And there's that. Duke was over in North Carolina, which also pains me to say. Kind of a North Carolina fan of sorts. So if you like North Carolina, you usually don't like Duke. And I want to say, I'm pretty right on this. I think that Derek Brown is a big Duke fan, and so I'm sure he's excited about all that stuff. I don't talk to him about it much because he's a Duke fan because I like North Carolina, and so obviously this. But I love him; he's great. Love him and his family. So there's that. News. I mean, President Trump is always going to be doing something. I got nothing for you. I mean, but he's always doing something. He's got his people doing stuff. They say they're cleaning up the country. We'll see. We'll see. We're I think we're excited to see things happen. I think the big thing is when a president makes a promise and he follows through with it. Hopefully it's something the country's cool with, because at least that was the whole premise, I think, of 8 years ago when he actually took office the first time. When is he claims to not be a politician, because most politicians say what they can say to get there, and then they spend time doing other things, whatever. But he's actually fallen through, so you got to appreciate that. But regardless whether you are Republican or Democrat or whatever, let's just continue to pray to God and just ask God to guide us, because that's what's going to be it. That's the saving grace there. Yeah. So I think that is all what we do. So this is as far as the news go, I'm gonna go calendar on you. I got some stuff for you I want to share with you, and it really starts on Friday. So today's Monday. It's Monday. I get it. But Friday morning in Flowtown, Florence, Alabama, there's a 2-day thing going on at Heritage Christian. I think they'd appreciate me sharing this, and so I hope they don't mind me sharing this. I'm going to share this, and I'm going to make some I'll say some things. I hope I'm right when I say this. Heritage Christian is hosting their Alumni Day on Friday. This Friday starts at 8 o'clock with coffee and donuts. Everybody loves that. All the cops. I'm just kidding. A shout out to Everett Johnson on that, and Brian Johnson. That's funny. They're not related. They're both cops. Or yeah. Okay. So coffee donuts 8 o'clock. I'm not going to go through the whole school, but it is called Alumni Days. I don't think you have to be an alumni to go. I think it's pretty much open to whoever wants to show up. I hope that's okay to say. But I know they'd appreciate folks being there. And the theme follows forgiveness this year, and from Matthew chapter 6, 14 and 15. So I think it'd be a good time. Zach Martin starts that out talking about a forgiveness that overcomes shame. And that begins at 9 a.m. So if you're in the Florence area, or even if you're not, make plans. Be there Friday. And so Zach will start at 9 a.m. speaking there. There'll be a couple of breakout classes, how God models forgiveness for humans. And that'll be shared by our very own Jeff Johnson. I say our very own because he's a good friend, and he used to live in this area. Now he's in Russellville, but I love him anyway. And his son Caleb and Caitlin go to church here, so that's cool. And Jeff's also one of our assistant directors at Lads to Leaders right here in Atlanta. And time out. Let me say this for a minute. Let me stop this for a second. I'm going to stop the show. Here we go. If you're looking for a home for the Lads to Leaders program, and you want to everyone be in one hotel, and you're looking forward to being in a place with plenty of space to stretch your arms, stretch your legs, and yes, the competition, but also the fellowship, be around folks you know. Atlanta National Convention on Easter weekend is the place for you. It really is. It's a great place. All locations are great, but I'm telling you, Atlanta is the place to be. Once you're here, you're here. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can stay right here. We got a couple of food courts connected to the hotel, and just, oh man, it's just great. It's a great time. See a lot of folks you know, and hopefully you'll be here, and you'll see us, and let us know if we can help you in any way. I'm working on staff this year with Philip Hines and Jeff Johnson, and so we're here to assist you. And of course, Caitlin from the national office will be there as well. So let us know what we can do to help you out and make your experience better. And if you're curious about it, give any of us a call. We'd love to talk to you about it. Love to share with you. It really is a great weekend. We look forward to being with you. So, okay, time in. All right. So also with the Alumni Day at Heritage Christian, we are also looking at, we have Jeff Johnson speaking that one topic, and then also Dale Jenkins, same time, will be speaking on to forgive a real hurt in ministry. Sometimes in ministry, sometimes in life, we get hurt by people, or a situation occurs. We have to deal with those things. And Dale is rightfully qualified to be able to share with you what that's all about. And of course, Will Sharp will be talking about servant leadership. We have breakout classes with Luke Sudrith, with Bill Bagents, which, man, I've known Bill forever, but he's an awesome guy. I love him. And then a ladies class, Forgiveness, Paving the Road to Peace. And then with Michelle Thompson. And then there's a panel class. They're offering a steak dinner at 5. So Alumni Day is going to be worth it. Go to Flowtown, go to Florence, go to Heritage Christian, enjoy that day this Friday. The next day is the title of this is it's Survey Says is the theme, and this is the Heritage Christian Leadership Institute workshop. Leadership Institute workshop, and so that starts at 8:15 in the morning for registration and refreshments. A big welcome with Barry Binion, my boy Barry. I can't wait to see him and all the good folks over there. And it starts with Jeremy Weekly, as he will be speaking on characteristics of godly leaders. Jeremy, if I'm not mistaken, still is a preacher at West End in Knoxville. Great guy. Appreciate him so much. Has a podcast for us on Ministry League, so look forward to hearing him. He'll continue to follow that, a deep dive in leadership lessons learned from his research. He did some research on this, on the stuff he's doing for all of his degrees and everything he's doing. Counseling tips by Bill Bagents and Sandra Mitchell will be speaking for a ladies leadership class as well. from the perspective of an elder's wife. So a lot of really neat things going on there. There'll be a panel discussion, and of course, lunch will be served, and it ends at lunch on Saturday. So that's the Leadership Institute, Heritage Christian Leadership Institute. That's on Saturday. So please keep that in mind. Remember that. Now, after that, what do you do on Sunday? Well, on Sunday, let's go to Henderson, Tennessee. Let's go to Freed-Hardeman University, and let's talk about the lectureship. I'm really excited about the lectureship this year. Looking forward to it. In the new auditorium that is complete, and the Chick-fil-A that is across the street, to see all the new things going on at Freed, but also seeing everybody back for a lectureship. Usually it's the first full week of February, but here we are right in the middle of March, and they're going to make it happen, and we're looking forward to it. And I am honored to be able to be one of the speakers on the Youth Summit, and that is located in the theater across the street next to the coffee house. So I'll be there 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon. And I'm actually speaking on ministering to families with special needs, with children with special needs, or people in your family with special needs. How do we minister to those families? And so here's my big question, and I'll start my lecture this way. And that's what I want to kind of throw at you right now. And that is, when you hear the word special needs, what do you hear? Do you hear in your congregations, are you thinking, oh, well, that has to be Down syndrome? Does that have to be Asperger's? Does it have to be autism? What do you think about when you think about that? Because Tyler's 10. Man, he's a big dude, though. He's awesome. I love him. My son, Tyler, mine and Stephanie's. He's also Stephanie's son. And I try children together, Laney and Tyler. But Tyler is on the spectrum for autism. So when I hear that, all I hear is autism. But I am going to be speaking to a crowd of people, folks, hopefully a crowd of people, about ministering to families who deal with special needs. And I'd like to know exactly who I'm talking to and about, because this could be just for autism, or if it needs to be just for Down syndrome, whatever that special need is. If you'd send me an email, you're watching this, or you can put it right here. In the show notes, or right here if you put it on Facebook, just type in or send me an email, thepaulspurlin@gmail.com. Let me know, when you hear special needs, what do you hear? What is the thing in ministry that you think about? That would really help me out. And I'm going to ask that same question when I address the folks there on Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock at Freed-Hardeman University. Look forward to being up there. And we have a chance to help them and put together a rush at Freed in September. And so looking forward to that as well. So that is the schedule, and that is the news. And so what I want to do now is I want to finish up with kind of a ministry thing that I think will help out. Because if you look at the title, you saw where asked the question, are you listening? And so I want to share something with you. How well do you listen to people when you talk to people? How well do you block out the noise when you're dealing with a certain situation in life? Drink your coffee and meet back with me, and we'll do this. Go to commercial break or something. Yeah, there really wasn't a commercial break. But anyway, I wanted to drink some coffee. So here's a little story, and you may have heard this before. It's a neat little illustration that I've used in a sermon before, and obviously it's not new with me, but it's a neat little story about listening, and so it kind of goes like this. Obviously, because it's before my time. Do you know what the telegraph is? Way back and I don't. It was before my time. Please don't think, oh yeah, Paul, back in the day. Telegraph was the fastest method of long distance communication. And so there was a young man who applied for a job as a Morse code operator. Obviously, this is something they used in the military back in the day as well. They still use it in the military today. But he answered an ad in the newspaper. Okay. He answered an ad in the newspaper, and he went to an office where the address was listed, and he arrived, and he entered this big room. And it's a busy office with loud noise going on, people talking, all kinds of people. There's about 10 to 15 people in the room, and including the sound of the telegraph in the background. So you heard it in a back room, the door shut. So this young man walks in. There's about 10, 15 people sitting down already. He walks in. a sign on the receptionist counter instructed job applicants to fill out the form and to wait until they're summoned to the inner office, the next room. And you know how it is. You go into like a waiting room. It's like, here's all these people. You're sitting down. You're passing the time. You're waiting for somebody to call you out. Almost like the doctor's office. You just wait for them to come out and say, Paul Spurlin. Okay, me. That kind of thing. And so that's kind of what's going on here. So he filled out the form. He set it down on the table. And the other applicants were just sitting in the waiting area. He's just sitting there. And after a few minutes, this young man kind of stood up. He crossed the room. He opened the door, not opened the door, and he walked into that room. And everybody else in the room is like, what just happened? We've been here for hours. This guy just walks in. He signs a piece of paper. He sits down. He waits 5 minutes. He's gone. What's happening? And so they're kind of muttering to themselves, and they're talking. That they hadn't heard any summons. They hadn't heard anybody say anything. And they assumed the young man went over to the office and just completely made a mistake, completely disqualified himself. And so a few minutes later, the employer comes out, escorting this guy, talking to him back and forth, out of the office. And as he did, he said to the other applicants, just as they're walking through this room, just a few minutes later, gentlemen, thank you for coming. The job has been filled. And the other applicants are like, what is going on? He was the last guy to walk in. He sat down. Oh, you just walk in? That's not very fair. And the employer said, I'm sorry, but all the time that y'all been sitting in here and the telegraph has been clicking and following a message of Morse code. And that's what's going on. We called him through Morse code, and we basically said, whoever hears us can come in and see us. And they just missed it completely. They missed the whole thing. So the job's his. You see, in life and in a world that is full of fast-paced noise, noisy atmosphere like that office, we need to turn to doing the work of the Father in heaven. We need to listen more. We need to hear what's being said. We need to listen to the voice of God through the Bible, because that's his inspired word. The question is, are you listening to God as he speaks the scriptures to you? See, you can read the words if you want, but are you meditating on it day and night? It's interesting because the Lord through scripture asked both David and Joshua those very things, leaders of his people at the height of ministry of their time. Okay. Are you listening to God as he speaks to us through scripture? Because in Matthew chapter 17 and verse 5, he tells us, this is my son whom I am well pleased. Then the next two words, hear him. So the big question here is, are we listening? Are you listening to the words that God is sharing? Are you living the life where when you read these passages, and earlier I mentioned and talked about a show we do, 30 Minutes for God, are you taking those at least 30 minutes each day to open up the Bible, not just read words, but to embrace the message of God, to embrace the life of Jesus Christ? Is that where you're at? Is that what you're doing? If not, let's go. Let's start now. Let's listen more. Let's pay more attention. And of course, the picture you see of not listening is a family of four at the dinner table. And everybody's got one of these. And they're all looking at it, and nobody is talking to each other. Nobody is experiencing life. Nobody is taking the time to really listen. Take the time. Spend time with each other. Listen to each other. Embrace those conversations. So many times I'll be listening to my kids or listening to Stephanie, and we'll be talking, and conversations happen. And when they're over, I kind of reflect back on what Lainey said or what Tyler was telling us or what we were discussing. And I'm like, I really hope they know that I was in tune with what was being said, because I know God is asking the same thing of us every day. I really hope my children are in tune with the message that I'm sharing with them. Are you? Let's be those people. Let's do those things. Thank you for being with me today for the Paul Spurlin Show. Go to the website at thepaulspurlin.com. Stay tuned to all the things going on in life and ministry. Just know we won't be on air next week. We will be at the free lectures. So we may pop on Facebook or ministry page or whatever and do some things. But we appreciate you for being here with us. We appreciate your life, your love for God. And let's always pursue truth, justice, and the way to Him for everybody here at Minister Lee and everybody here at Piedmont Road Church of Christ. My name is Paul Spurlin. This has been the Paul Spurlin Show. Thank you for being with us. Have a great week, and God bless.